Hey Sagittarius. Whoops, sorry, excuse me. Welcome back. This is your essentially bi-weekly. It's not even a weekly, right? It's just bi-weekly. For getting us through the remainder of the month. September 17th through what is happening? Through through yeah, it's right side up. That's weird. Through September 30th. Jupiter is in retrograde until the end of the year. Is that right? Let's see. I'm sorry. I just need to pull a card to make sure that's for y'all. All of that is for y'all. What was that one? Yep, that's for y'all. All right. Clearly, Spirit wanted to speak. So let me get back to it real quick. Jupiter is in retrograde, meaning that you need to review, revise anything that does not sit right with you, is not right, is not in alignment with you. Look to review, revise it, correct it, move on. So Jupiter is in retrograde until the end of this year. We do have the autumn equinox coming up on the 23rd of September, and then we do have a full moon on the 29th of September as well. It is the harvest moon, so make your intentions known, release whatever you need to, and move on. Get better, make space, make room for all the good that's coming in. So we start off with the Three of Cups in reverse. I feel like a planned celebration is just, I'm going to say delayed for lack of a better term, instead of saying just canceled altogether, right? It's okay. You haven't been able to celebrate just yet. And it's fine that you have not been able to do so, because at this point, it looks like you're watching your finances. You're watching your money. You're being observant of where you spend cash, where you don't, where you charge, where you don't. And again, being reserved in these times is really not a bad idea. It's actually a good idea to do that, just because there's so much going on in the world, and so much of it financially, economically, it's all volatile right now at this point. So I would say that that's actually a good thing. That's not this particular time, not this time frame. It should not be viewed as a bad thing, because you are, in fact, you have the ability to, you're discerning in your finances, and everybody should be discerning in their finances. A lot of us aren't. A lot of us are real free, real fluid. Until we don't have anything. So it's good to be discerning. Following that, not necessarily juggling, but just being observant of your finances and where you are plunging forward with certain ideas that you have. And that's a good thing, because you may not necessarily need the finances right now to go through with it, but you can at least have the vision of where you want to see this going, whatever that this is, right? Whatever that experience, whatever that business, whatever that idea, whatever that is, you can at least trudge forward in designing it out, visualizing it, coming up with steps on how to get what, how to do what. That's all good. The planning is good. That's a good thing. But in the planning of that, I think you walk away. The Eight of Cups follows up, which will roll us right into the next following week. And you make the decision to walk away. I think you're making the decision to literally walk away from an idea that you really held on to, that is no longer serving you. And again, there is no issue with that, because sometimes we have to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. We have to be able to say, okay, I was doing this for 4 or 5 months and nothing really came of it. So do you really want to focus your energy and your attention on something that really didn't result in anything good or anything successful? Why do that? It's a waste of time, right? This forces you to go back to the drawing board, and you feel some kind of way about it. It's okay. Go back to the drawing board, set it up again. Find another idea. Go in a different direction, because the action of releasing this idea, feeling a certain way about this idea, rolls you right on into the wheel of fortune. And that is the karmic circle. That is the rebalancing. That is the moving of the tide. That is the go get this good stuff. That is the tables are turning. Yes, you fail on this particular idea and it did not pan out, but guess what? The fact that you were willing to give this up and move on opens up what? It opens up space for all of the wonderful new energy to come in, right? And by the close of this month, what you'll be going through once that Wheel of Fortune energy comes in is in fact your hermit phase, where you go, it's like going back down to the cave to map out how you want life to show up for you, what you want in this life, and sometimes, just like I just called out Jupiter is in retrograde, okay, from now until the end of this year, we're all being forced to take a look at what we have done, what we have been doing, and really determine if it's in our best interest, if it's truly for us, if we really do need to do that and stay the course and continue to go in that direction, right? If we don't, cut the cord, go back down to the basement, redesign it again. Why? Because that opens up the door for spirit, for universe, for God to send you what you truly and I keep saying what you truly desire, but here's the reality. Sometimes that desire changes. And if it does, then you have to rewrite the playbook. You have to rewrite the instructions for how you're going to get from point A to point B. There's nothing wrong with that. That's called evolution. It's called maturing. It's called discernment, being able to know what no longer serves you, putting it down and putting it over here, not holding any emotional attachment to that, because that emotional, energetic attachment to it will just beget you the same thing, right? And we don't want that. We don't want that. What we want is whatever this new is to come on in, then you have to be able to release this. So for y'all, because this came up going into next week, I would suggest you really do work with that full moon energy and work on releasing. And it's releasing, because that is a cup and it's followed by a cup. I want you to see that. That's the 8 of Cups, walking away, right? Well, essentially that's the meaning of it. And that's the 5 of Cups, like crying over spilled milk. You see those 3 cups down there? All that crying that you're doing over what seems to be the majority of this problem is 2 right there behind you. There are 2. And look, it's a full moon in that card. Quarter moon or crescent moon in that one, but it's a full moon in this one where you need to release. You need to release this. This is the shit that's clogging up energetic space that you need to get rid of, to bring that in. And when that comes in, the hermit energy comes in, you need to be introspective and you need to go back to the drawing board to rewrite something else up. And this that you create and that you write up comes out better than what you released. You just needed to get this off. You needed to get that away. You needed to get beyond that in order for this good to come in. Let's grab you an oracle card and see where that lands us. Ouch. All right, what do we have for Sagittarius? 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 Anything else for Sagittarius? Okay. All right, you got card number 44, and it is wool. I would... Sometimes I'm very literal in this, and sometimes I think spirit is also literal when they provide us with an oracle message. I think rolling into fall as the world the western side becomes a little cooler, get a fabric or two, get an item of clothing that is wool, grab a wool scarf, get a wool scarf, because it helps to bring in sometimes the energy. To do something literal in the image or in the energy of a certain oracle brings in that energy. Just a shout out. It's where magic and the mundane actually come together. So you have 44. You are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. So I think a lot of this for you guys too is going to be a review and a revision of your relationships with certain main characters in your life. The reality is that sometimes people do have to change out because they have to open the door for other other individuals to come in because of the experience that it brings with that new energy or with that new person. Not bad, Saggy. All right. Come back and see me. I'm going to come back and see you. So you honor me by being present. I honor you by being present. Until next week, my dear. Peace and ashe.